to 20 with a gap of 2. Then let me reshape it. ARR array dot reshape 5 comma 4, 5 comma 2. If we have to reshape it to different elements like 2, 2 comma 5 or a dot reshape 10 comma 1 or a dot reshape 1 comma 10. So it's getting reshaped. No, now if we try to reshape it to different elements like 9 comma 2, then it would not happen because there are not 18 elements. No, there are only 10 elements. So we can't reshape it to 10 comma 2, 9 comma 2. Now if we check the type of a, it's a n-dimensional array. It's an n-dimensional array. Now let's check. Let's do the dot product. We mention dot product, and the value comes with, let's define an array np dot a range five elements. So define as mb c equal to np dot a range to create 2, 5, 7, 8, 11. Now then we define np dot b comma c. Let get let us get its value first. So we get the dot product. Hey guys, so I am again sharing my screen. So now if we have to add the B and C, then we see it would add element wise. 1 with 2, 3 with 5, 5 with 7, 7 with 8, 9 with 11. So it would add element wise. We can also use np.add function, np.add b comma c. It returns an array. If we want to subtract, then np.subtract 5 b comma c. If we want to multiply, then we get np.multiply b comma c. Same way we can divide it, np.divide b comma c, and it divides an array. Now let's multiply the elements. For example, a equal to pro product equal to b into c. Then product is equal to 2, 15, 35, 56, 99. Now we must know that when we are multiplying two matrices, for example, M1 is having shape 3 comma 3, and M2 is having shape 3 comma 7. So while multiplying two matrices, we must note that the column of first matrix should be equal to row of second matrix. This should always be equal, then only we can multiply the operations. Now let's define two arrays. F equal to np dot array. We give the values as 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. We give another array as g equal to np dot array. We give 5, 5, 7, 11, 13, 6, 8. So if we search np dot greater, it is used for comparison of all the elements. We compare comparison of np dot greater. So it returns false, false, and last true because it checks the value for f and g. 5 is not greater than 7 is not greater than 9 is not greater than 11 is not greater than but 13 is greater than 6. So it returns true value. Now if we give another value as np dot less and we give the values f, then it gives true values and false. In the same way, we can check np dot equal. So it returns true, true, false, false, false. And np dot not equal, it gives f comma g. Now let's take another array, which is the height of students. So np underscore height is equal to np dot array 31, oh nahi, 171, 179, 181, 168, 172. Now, if we have to calculate its minimum value, maximum value, mean, standard deviation, etc. So first, let's print the np.sum, np underscore ht. So it will just return the sum of all the values. If we have to check the minimum value, np.min np underscore ht. Then it would return the minimum value. We return np dot max np underscore ht. Then it returns the maximum value. If we check the mean of the values, np dot mean np underscore ht, then it would return the mean of the values. Now let's start with the for loop. Suppose we create an empty array, we create a list k equal to a. For I in range, or we have to use the while loop. While counter less than 5, let's define the counter equal to 0. So while counter less than 5, then we take the value as counter h equal to int input enter height h dot append k dot append h counter equal to counter plus 1. 171, 172, 168, 163, 159. After that, let's see the list. Now we have to calculate the mean. Then np underscore ht equal to np dot array k. np dot mean equal to np underscore ht. So it gives the mean of the values of the height. Now let's suppose we have to create a random number. So we create a list where we say np dot random dot random. We create 0 to 10 to 5. So it will create 5 random numbers between 0 to 10. Now let us write s equal to 78206. So it will automatically creates the random number. There are different operations also that we can perform. Np dot exponential of s. We can also create the np dot sign of s. Np dot cos of s. So we can perform different operations like np dot s square root of as np dot log of s. Now let's create two array. Arr1 equal to np dot array 12, 15, 17, 19, 21, and we create another array to equal to np dot array, and we define values like 14, 18, 21, 56, 29. So what is array 1 and what is array 2? So we create a stack np dot stack. So what would stack would do? It would follow last in first out principles or the first in first out principles. So np dot stack arr1 arr2. Let's give it access. So it is following last in first out principle or the first in first out principle. It's the check the type of A. Type of A is n-dimensional array, and C dot shape is 5. So in this way, we can check the shape and the type of A. Let's save the file. So there are two kinds of stack. One is horizontal stack and vertical stack. So let me tell you what is horizontal stack means. np dot h stack arr1 arr2, then it horizontally stacked it. And vertical stack is just one. Horizontal stack means one after the another, and vertical stack means one above the other. I don't know why it is showing this. Now let's check the end dimension. arr1 dot endem. So it's one dimensional. We can check the dimensions of an array. Now let's learn the splitting of an array. Suppose we create an array arr3 np dot a range 1 to 20 with 2. Now we have to split it into two parts. So first of all, we'll write s1 comma s2 np dot split, and it's split into two parts, arr1 comma arr2. Sorry, here we have to write array3. So here is s1, and here is s2. After splitting, we must learn flatten function. Suppose if we create an array, we have created a two-dimensional array, like right? G equal to this. Now using flatten function, it is used to create it into one-dimensional array. Flatten, and it creates into one-dimensional array. So flatten function is used in, let's write, let's write flatten. Let's import the iris dataset. So here is the iris dataset in GitHub. It stands for sepal length, sepal width, petal length, petal width, species. So species tells that whether it is of three types, whether it is setosa or versicolor or virginica. So I have downloaded the data set. Let me share it. Open the Google Colab. It's closed. Yes. We'll import the dataset using read CSV. So using data frame, we create PD import pandas as PD. Then we write df equal to pd dot read underscore csv. Copy. So the dataset has been loaded. Let's write df dot head. So here it is the data set, the sepal length, sepal width, petal length, petal width, and the species. Sepal. Let's extract the first five. So df equal to df all rows till 30 and all columns. So here is the data set TF dot shape, 31 rows, 4 columns. Now let's check the size of the iris dataset. So we write df dot size df dot and so now let's split the dataset to three parts: iris1, iris2, iris3. So np dot split df into three parts. So why it's showing error? Now it's been split into three parts. Now let's check the minimum value of the iris dataset. So here is the iris1, here is the iris2, and iris3. Now I'll find the minimum value of the iris1 underscore min equal to iris1 dot min axis equal to 0. And here is the iris dataset. So we don't have to give the dataset here. We can just write axis equal to 0. So axis equal to 0, it would give the minimum value of iris dataset with from each column from each column and would give the maximum view of each dataset from each row if we use x is equal to 1. If we give x is equal to 1, if we do not provide any access, suppose if we do not provide any access, so from each column, it gives the minimum value from each row. And if we do not provide any access, then it would return min equal to iris1 dot min. So it would return the minimum value from all the columns. Min would give all values, minimum values from all the columns. It would give the minimum value from all the columns. Same is for the maximum. It is 1 underscore max equal to iris dot max x is equal to 0. So it returns the maximum value. Iris1 dot max equal to iris1 dot max x is equal to 1. Now to get the mean, now to check the iris1 underscore mean equal to iris2 dot mean. So it would give the maximum value, mean of the values when with all the columns. irs2 underscore mean will give irs2 dot mean equal to 2. So it would give the minimum value, maximum value for all the rows and columns. Now let's suppose we introduce pandas. So what do you understand by pandas? So suppose if we have data set in format like Rubit, is having format like JSON, CSV, text, etc. Now we have to read those data set. We can easily do it with the help of pandas. With the help of pandas, we can easily read the files. So with the help of when we are learning data science, when we are learning data science, then pandas is a very powerful library with and very important library. Important library in pandas. With the help of it, without using Python, we can easily do the same task with just one or two lines of code, and it will reduce our time typing. So why we use pandas? We use pandas because it is flexible, accessible to everyone, easy to use, fast, free for users to use and modify. It is a open source library function and flexible and easy to use. So pandas is derived from the word pandas is derived from the word panel data, which is a multi-dimensional array with series object involving measurements over time. So we can do a lot of things in pandas. 1D 1D data is used for series data frame. 2D data is used for data frame. 3D data is used for panel data is derived from panel data. So we take panda for three-dimensional data. Panel data. We can do a lot of things. For example, we can do handle missing values, data alignment, group by functionality, group by functionality, merging, joining, and reshaping, merging, joining, and reshaping and reshaping. Hierarchical labeling of access, and so on. So I'll stop here. We'll continue in the next session. Thank you.